Hey guys, and welcome to this tutorial. My most viewed video is the tiki-taka tutorial, in which I've showed you that you should try and pass to the direction your player is facing, or try to keep the pass below 90 degrees as a rule of thumb to keep consistent passing. In this video I'm gonna show you some more concrete techniques of building up your attacks so that we can use this fact. I'm gonna show you the back forward, the zigzag build up. I'm gonna show you how you can use the radar to get some easy lob troopers goals. As you can see on screen right now, we used the radar and we got the easy lob troopers goal. I'm gonna explain that to you, but I'm also gonna explain to you how you can even use the radar to get the ball from your opponent's goalkeeper and get some easy goals as well. Then we're gonna talk about using regular lob passes, so not lob through balls, regular lob passes, just like the cross button. And in the end, we're even gonna see how you can pass with headers. And I'm also going to show you the fullback 1-2, which is a great method to get out of the pressure and set up the attack in the initial phase. Let's start now with maybe the best way to build up your attacks, and that is something which I call the zigzag build up. We can see the idea of this build up right on screen now. We're gonna pass up and down but diagonally forward. So we pass diagonally up, then diagonally down on the way to the goal of the opponent. And we can see that the great thing about it is that the player who receives the pass is already looking into the direction in which he should give the next pass. And if you see my tiki-taka tutorial, that is crucial to get consistent passing going. We can see that the next player who controls the ball is already looking downwards, and therefore we can pass it to the guy in the green circle, and we can't pass it to the guys in the red circle, but because that would mean a pass in a direction which is over 90 degrees, and that's too risky, because if you pass in the direction over 90 degrees, the pass might be very slow or it might be off target, and especially with players like these who are 50 rated, that is not a good idea. But in generally as well, you might want to keep your passing below a 90-degree direction. Therefore you will get consistent passing, and you might just get very quick passing if you do that. You can see here that there's a great opportunity to get at the zigzag build-up attack going, and therefore we got two first touch passes which are very accurate and quick as well. So this is a great way to get first touch passes to be quick and accurate, and that's why I sometimes get very nice passing goals. We can see that the opponent left a gap, and we can see that this is the opportunity to get the zigzag passing attack going, and we can even do a third additional zigzag pass to that. And it's a great way just to get the 3 quick passes, and after those 3 quick passes we got into the space, then we could give that easy through pass. We do 4 zigzag passing attacks, and now we're into the space, and that means that we can do an easy goal yet again. We got into the space because of those 3 first touch passes, and the zigzag build-up attack made it all possible. We do 1, 2, 3, actually even 4 zigzag passes, and that's then we're through on the wing, and now it's easier. Simple ground course, we get the goal, and we can see here again the zigzag passing, 3 first touch passes, actually even 4 first touch passes in a row, and then we 1-on-1 with the defenders. If you can get quick passing going, and the zigzag is just the method to get quick passing going, then you can get great goals. And we can see here an extreme example in which we actually passed that all the way into the goal with the zigzag build up. And now the back forward is the same principle as the zigzag. We can see some very quick passing plays. So what happened there? It was normal speed, not accelerated. We can see that player is receiving the ball and we cannot turn forward. That player is blocking that, but we are facing the left. That means that we can do a very accurate and very quick pass into Ramos. And when Ramos receives it, it's already facing the right. That means we can do a very quick and accurate pass into Benzema. So if you indeed play 0-degree passes, they're gonna indeed be very quick and very accurate. We pass it forward and back, forward and back. Look at how quick that passing play is. Because we're playing 0-degree passing play most of the time, it's so quick. And if you can get quick passing going, that means we can create space to give easy through balls. This goal looks so easy, but trust me, that was Division 1 actually. We passed that back, and that means that we can do a very accurate chip ball forward after that. So sometimes you can even combine that with chip through balls. But I want to stress the point that do not force the passing back. If you can turn forward, then 9 out of 10 situations the best option is to simply go forward. So do not force the back forward, because you do not want to be passing back all game and ruin the pace in your attacks. You want to keep pacey attacks, so we pass that forward this time and we can just turn forward. So if you can do that, then make sure that you're not going to pass it back all game, because you're going to ruin the pace in your attacks, and obviously you do not want that to happen. The fullback 1-2 is a way of the back forward to get that build-up going in the initial phase of the build-up. We were a little bit under pressure there, but it's a great tool to actually get out of the pressure in the initial stage of the build-up. As said, you can do a 1-2 with your fullback, you pass it into the winger or the central midfielder or striker, whatever, and you just pass it back into the fullback and you can get the attack going. But again, I want to stress the point that if you can go forward, then just go forward. Do not pass that back into the fullback. And we can see here already, we opened up the play with a regular lob pass. And we're going to show you in the next section how we can use the radar actually. So how we actually spotted that space. And we can see here again that we pass that back because we're under a little bit of pressure. And we use the radar again to get a great creative pass forward there. And we're going to check that out right now actually, how we can use the radar. We can see on the radar that the right striker is making a run and he's not covered. So let's just throw that lob pass. It's not 100% the goal, but it's 60% one-on-one. So we want to take that risk. We want to throw that lob pass on top of Ronaldo. So when do you want to check the radar? Usually when you're on the wing. So with your winger or most likely with your fullbacks. With your fullbacks you're often gonna get a lot of space, and we spot on the radar that the left winger had a lot of space indeed, and therefore we had a lot of space now with Götze. And we actually, I think we're gonna get a goal of that eventually. We passed it in the Lewandowski because we had that much space. So if you have the ball with your fullback, you often have time to check out the radar. That's when I most often do it with my fullbacks, but also with other players on the wings. You usually have some time to check out the radar, see what's going on, pick out the player on the other side of the pitch. And we can see here again, we're in the initial phase of the build-up, but we saw that the left striker was open. So why play slowly if we can just directly throw a regular lob pass on top of him? And we can see here how we can use the radar to actually take the ball from the opponent's goalkeeper. Usually when your goalkeeper has the ball into his hands, it takes a lot of time to throw that, longer than most opponents actually realize. And you have the time on the radar to get in front of the player in which you anticipate him to throw the ball to. But you do have to switch players with the right stick in order to be quick enough there. The through pass to the side, I visited this point briefly in my tiki-taka tutorial, but I want to visit it again because it's absolutely crucial to get fluid passing play going and get you some great goals. If I press the regular pass button, it's gonna give the red pass, but I want to give the green pass so that it will be fluid passing play, and I get a fluid attack, which I do need. So we passed it with the triangle on PlayStation. That is the through pass button on Xbox, so that you will pass that in front of the player who is about to receive the ball. So if you play the ball to the side, you can also use through passes. That's the point of this section. I want to give that pass in front of the player, and because I gave a through ball, Busquets was able to pass that first touch forward. So that's very important and a great way of actually using this button. We want to give that ball in front of the players in a lot of situations. We got a great zigzag attacking going here, and we want to pass that ball in front of Alba actually. We want to give that in front of him, and therefore we were able to get a great fluid passing play and pass that first touch again. We want that pass in front of him. Actually we get lucky after that, but it's still the same point. We wanted to pass it in front of him in that first situation, and therefore he was able to pass that first touch even though we messed it up. But I hope it's clear what I mean with this, because we're going to get to the next section already, lob passes. And then this is something which very few people use. You can use lob passes to throw all the way to the other side on the wing, but I very rarely see people use it like this. The player in the red circle is in a lot of space, and we actually need to throw a lob pass because the yellow player was blocking that. And therefore look at the space we have. We can throw an amazing through ball. And this was actually against a pro player, if you have seen that match already. And the lob pass to the center of the pitch like this. I do see people sometimes use lob passes to switch from the side or maybe get the ball to the other wing. But I very rarely see people use it like this. To just throw that in the middle of the field. If you spot someone is in his space in the middle of the field, you can also definitely use lob passes, regular lob passes. These are not lob through balls. This one was, but the lob passes which I was stressing earlier, that are just regular lob passes at the same button as the cross button. So if you press that button, you're gonna do a regular lob pass. It could just give a nice lob pass into the feet of the player you're aiming for. And if he is in a lot of space, that means if you give him the lob pass, that you can maybe do a great through ball or a great dribble after that if you get the ball into the space indeed. And we can see here the situation. Look at the space in the middle of the field, and I so very rarely see passes like this to the middle of the field, a nice lob pass. And look at how easy this goal seemed, but this again was Division 1. It's just because we threw a lob pass into the space, and then we can just give a through ball, which looks so easy, but the beauty really was at spotting that space and knowing that we have to use the regular lob pass to get the ball into the space. A player who is into space usually can give great through balls, so it may look very easy. And we can see here some nice passing play, the back forward a couple of times actually. And then you could maybe even call this the zigzag border play, but we did need to take some first touches to delay the passes at sometimes. And we can see here again that we just open up the play to the other wing. That's how a lot of people do actually use the regular lob pass. Do just open the play to the other wing. But we can also use it like this again. Just get the quick attack going. Why play slowly if you can just lob that directly into a striker's feet? Why wouldn't we do that? And we can also use it like this to get out of the pressure, because lob passes are just so accurate on FIFA 15. Now the header pass is only going to be a short section. The main point is, can I score when I had this on goal? I don't think I can score it, but I do spot the space at Diego Costa. And can I score this? No, I think the goalkeeper is too close, so I pass that. So I just want to stress the point that with the head you can also pass. And we can see here, can I score that with Lewandowski? I don't think I can, so I passed it with the header, and therefore we got a great opportunity. Another way of scoring, which I rarely see people use, is pass it into the box actually. If you're on the wing, a lot of people only think about crossing or maybe cut inside and shoot, but I very rarely see people actually pass it into the box like this. Just pass it into the box, and if you just use a regular pass, your player is going to get a great first touch, and therefore we got a nice goal here. And we can see even that in a great tiki-taka attack how I use the pass into the box method. We get that ball onto the wing now to Alba, who was in a great space, and we can see that there's a great gap to pass through. And if you see that, then we just use the regular pass into the box, just the regular pass button, and therefore it's a great first touch, and we were able to continue a great tiki-taka attack, which we finished with the back forward border play method. Now this is a match against a professional player again, and we're gonna see a lot of methods which we discussed here. We open up with the lob pass, then we do the back forward, the 1-2 with the fullback actually to open up the attack and actually start our attack. Then we do the first touch Berber spin, on which I will do a video too. Then the ball gets to Benzema. We use, just like in the face dribbling tutorial, the protect the ball on the wing, and then we use the pass that into the box method. Then the first touch fake shot, just like in the fake shot tutorial. And you can really see how all these methods of building up the play actually add up. We do a great zigzag attack here. But that's actually going to be the end of this tutorial. If you enjoyed, then please leave a like, subscribe to my channel. This is Cookie. See you next time.